Welcome. My name is Marie, and you are listening to Hurricane in My Life. Hurricane in My Life is a podcast where I share my stories, life experiences that are ups and downs. I also occasionally, as you know, if you've been listening for a while, use my podcast as a way to vent and share more than ups. Usually a lot of downs. However, today will maybe be a surprise. Each episode is different and unique. So please sit back, relax, grab some water, as it's best for you, and best to get at least 64 ounces in a day. I want to pause for just a second. Please don't forget that sometimes trigger warnings are needed, they're necessary, they are. So if you feel the topic of today's show is too much for you or makes you kind of have like that not right feeling, make sure that you do the right thing for you. And maybe that means don't listen. Go ahead, skip. That won't hurt my feelings. Or maybe save it for a time where you would be okay to listen. That's okay too. Please take the necessary steps you need to take care of you, as that's number one. Reach out to your safe person or people to recover. And remember, I am not a professional. I am just a scarred up person trying to educate others about my heartaches and life tragedies. With all that being said, let's get started, shall we? Hey y'all, it's been a cray week, but here is this week's episode. I wanted to cover something that I kind of think about this time of the year, and it's gonna be a little over a week since Christmas. It was a week actually as of this past Monday, but there's a tradition that my family upholds, and I know a lot of other families uphold, and that is keeping our tree up until the 7th of January, which is actually tomorrow. So I'm actually recording on a day that I would normally release, and it'll be released before midnight Central Time, because it is going to be 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Anyway, we uphold keeping our tree up till at least the 7th, because it's believed that it took the Wiseman 7 days to get back home from bringing presents to Jesus and visiting with Jesus after his birth. Meow. Daphne is in agreement. Since I got Daphne, I do not personally put up a tree, just because if you have ever had a cat, you know how much they can be a pain in the butt when it comes to a tree. However, I think with her, I could probably get away with it, because quite frankly, she's the laziest cat I've ever met. She's not one for climbing very much unless it's on the furniture, and it's usually not unless she's got permission to do so. But yeah, so main point of this episode is what kind of beliefs or traditions do you have around this time of the year? Like I said, around this time of the year, we keep our tree up for exactly the first 7 days of January, and then it can come down technically the 8th. Like I said, that is for the purpose of the Wiseman using the star at the top of your tree to get home. It's the same representation, basically. So, that is this week's episode. If you want to contact me, you know my email. I'll say it again though. Sweet Marie Thoughts, Sweet Marie Thoughts 2022 at outlook.com. You can find me also on Facebook or Instagram, or pretty much my main two social media outlets. And you can find me on both of them at Sweet Thoughts by Marie. And of course, you are listening to Hurricane in My Life, and that can be found on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, as well as Spotify. And don't forget, you can also find me on Pandora, wherever you listen to me. Thank you for choosing my podcast, and thank you for supporting me. If you've been a long-time listener, if you are just starting to listen to me, welcome. I highly suggest, if you're just starting to listen to me, start at the beginning. I jump all over the place. You'll get used to it. I kind of focus on what is the here and now. So, bear with me. As I stated a couple weeks ago, the first couple months of 2024, as we are 2024 now, I will be focusing on advocating for various things. Specifically, one of them is mental health. And I'm gonna also advocate with my podcast on a couple other aspects. With that being said, there are a lot of people that, though they have mental health issues and though they have physical issues with their health or whatever it is, it could be their physical body, it could be their mind, it could be whatever, it could be spiritual even. Not everyone is treated the same. We'll be talking a little bit about that too. We will also be talking about the fact that, what one person goes through doesn't mean everybody goes through it. Everybody has relatively the same symptoms sometimes. Keyword sometimes, because I am never textbook anything when it comes to symptoms. So just putting that out there. But again, please enjoy that journey with me as we talk about these things. And we'll be talking about, how it's important to advocate for things that are needed at home, whether it's like long-term care services, whether it's just having someone to be a companion, or maybe you need a companion like I have Daphne. What are the proper channels to go through those things? So we'll be talking about that. And then I also will be touching on the fact that a lot of people that struggle mentally, they don't have a lot of outlets to the outside world, being that maybe they don't drive, maybe they have a lot of anxiety, maybe they just don't trust people. They've learned that other people will burn them too much. I don't mean that in a physical sense with like fire. I mean just they get mentally, physically, emotionally drained by others. Again, this will be an ongoing topic, so please, just like I said, enjoy the ride. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts to anything I talk about, again, you can email me. I've sent my email a little bit ago. I can also put it in the description of this episode, which I will do gladly. That is not a problem. So again, just, trying to keep everybody informed. Much love, peace, and always remember to be kind. Love you, everybody. Hey, y'all. Thank you again for listening. It shows that what I'm doing is for good and that people do care. And I appreciate that. So, thank you for the love. Just know you're loved, you're cared for, you are all the things. Here are some ways that you can show support for me and show some love. You can find me on all social medias, like Facebook and Instagram, and you can also find me on Pinterest. I'm trying to figure out how to put my blog on there just to get some new people to read it, look at it, hopefully follow it. So if you do those things already, you are amazing. You are wonderful. Just know I love you a lot. And you can email me at sweetthoughtsbymarie. No, that is how you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. You can email me at sweetmariethoughts, S on the end of thoughts, 2022 at outlook.com. Again, I appreciate any way you support me, whether it's listening to my words as I speak them, whether it's reading my words that I have written. Just know you are the best for supporting me in any way you have supported me. Thank you very much for all you've done. It really helps me in so many ways, that more than I can really express. I am at a loss of expression of words. I really am. One thing that I know by your support, whether you read my words, listen to my words, or both, I know that I'm on the right path and that I'm doing the thing that I am supposed to be doing, which is sharing my stories, which is sharing my life experience. And I hope it does what it's supposed to, which is touch your life in a way to know you are not alone. I hope nobody that listens to me ever considers themselves to be a nobody. Please know you're somebody. You are somebody to somebody, whether you realize it or not, whether it is expressed or not. You are somebody to somebody, okay? That might not make sense, but I really mean it. You mean something to someone, not just yourself. Just know your love always, whether it's by someone in your life or by God. I have my days where I feel He's the only one that backs me up and has me in my corner for the next round. You know what I'm saying? He has me ready for the next fight. But realistically, we all have people that love us, even though people tend to have a really cruddy way of showing that they love and care for someone, and that hurts. I know, I get it, I do. That's all I can say, people, is never forget, you are somebody, you are loved, you are needed, you are wanted, and sometimes a little extra prayer is all that's needed to help you figure that out. Or maybe a conversation. Again, I know I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Never give up.